We are rolling.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Creative Businessmen. Today we have Jake Weddle on the show with us. He's a comedian and a writer. Jake, you want to tell everyone a little about you?
So I've been doing stand-up in North Carolina for about 9 years. I got started when I was 14. First place I ever got started was at Good Nights Comedy Club. Been doing stand-up for that long. It's been going well for about 2 of those 9, so we're crushing it. I'm kidding. And then I got a job writing for a YouTube channel. I'm currently a writer over at MrBeast YouTube. I believe he just hit 36 million subscribers.
Wow.
Awesome.
So I've been writing over there for about a year and a half. I started writing over there when I was in college. And so, like, during the summer, I was writing there full time, and then I had to go back for one more semester. So I was kind of like doing like part time. They sent me some scripts, I'd send them back. But now, when I graduated, I'm working over there full time now. So
Cool.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. So what'd you go to school for? Was it?
So at first, I was going to school for theater education. It was almost like, because I wanted to do performance, but at the same time, my mom was like, "Hey, get something practical." So theater education. Make sure you get a teaching job afterwards, something practical. But then the teaching degree was like, "Hey, why aren't you going into the extracurriculars?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing stand up at night." And they were like, "Oh, cut that out." and I was like, no. So now instead of doing theater education, I ended up getting the BA in theater and then double majoring in communications with an intensive in media studies.
Oh, cool.
So instead of getting a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, I got a BA. They just took the fine out. Whatever. Petty. That's very... Your arts are whatever. They're not fine. They're just whatever.
They're just arts.
Your arts.
Yeah. You didn't meet the fine arts qualification.
No, I did not.
At least you didn't go into education.
Yeah. Well, it was good to get the little bit of education that I had. That was a good time. Because we had to go to the children's hospital and do performances for them or whatever. Okay. And so that was like a really good experience. I love the whole theater education department. They just told me to quit doing stand up, and so I was like, "Nah, I'm the wrong."
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah.
Right? You should be a required part of that.
Exactly. They were like, "Hey, why aren't you auditioning for the plays?" And I'm like, "I'm performing every night. Can I do that?" Relax.
Yeah. Take a fucking break.
Stage.
Yeah.
Well, I've got this. I like that you have a plan. You seem methodical.
Oh yes, to my detriment. Actually, I planned things out a little too much. But that was the plan. I guess was to try to do all that. But again, I don't know what I'm doing, and we're just kind of seeing what happens. It wasn't my plan to get the job over at MrBeast either. I was just doing stand up out in Greenville because I went to ECU. And then that's just where he is. That's just happens to be.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I had a friend of mine that worked over there. He was like their filmographer, but also worked in the content department a little bit. And then a couple of them just came to a show, and then they were like, you, come here. And I was like, all right, cool. Fine with me.
It's a good gig. How many writers do they have?
Right now, it's 3 full-time that work at the office. But since everything happened, we've been working from home, which love that. And then we sometimes get these contracted writers to where we have some people that we like that we work with, and we pay them just for that one session. So we'll get a couple people like that, and we use some more than others depending on how much we like them and how available they are.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Cool. What got you into comedy at 14, especially?
Oh gosh. Well, the first time I was ever introduced to any stand-up at all, it was this is going to sound fake, but I was in the 3rd grade. And it was a storm, and it knocked out all the channels on my TV except for 2 channels, and it was Food Network and Comedy Central. So there is an alternative universe where I'm a 5-star chef. And when I was in the 3rd grade, I remember, hindsight's 20/20, because Dat Fan, by no stretch of the imagination, is the guy who's like, "Oh my God, Dat Fan," But when I was a kid, I was like, "You can do that? That's a thing you can just do?" And it was this 30-minute Comedy Central special. And then when I was younger, I just remember the 30-minute Comedy Central specials that would play on TV. I was obsessed with. I would rush home, and they were always on as soon as I got home from school. So that's what got me into it. But I didn't start performing until my freshman year of high school. I was writing a little bit in middle school, and again, what do you write about? When you're a kid, my parents are weird. That's it. That's all you got really. But you work with what you got.
Do you have any footage from when you were 13, 14?
There's one set of me my sophomore year of high school on YouTube still performing for my school's talent show, and that's not. I look back at the material and cringe, you hope to, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to.
100%.
Yeah, you want to look back 10 years later and go, I'm still the same. You hope to have improved.
Wow, I was really good back then.
Yeah, what happened?
What the fuck did I do?
Oh no, I was so thin and jovial. And now I got this pregnant woman belly, I tweeted something last night that got me in a little bit of trouble. I tweeted that my body type is like a petite, pregnant teenage woman. But when I said my body type, they thought I was like that's what I'm looking for, and I had to be like, no. That was I was referring to what I look like.
That's
Actually,
not your preference.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Wait. But did you get any DMs though? Like, hey, I'm down.
Hey, I'm 14 and pregnant. What's up? No, that didn't happen.
I was thinking like 18 and pregnant. You know.
All my comments were like, "Oh no, tell me you're kidding." Like, say psych.
I gotta follow you on Twitter, man. I gotta get on that. I gotta get back into this.
Oh no, it's mostly just angry political rants, and then occasionally it'll be like hey, I have a pregnant belly, and then and then it's back to because the social media in the news right now is so.
Well, it's designed to make you go insane. So.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It's designed to make you so nervous and anxious, and then hate people that don't agree with you 100%.
Exactly.
Angry people tweet a lot.
Yeah.
That's why
keeps
I'm
it
there,
going.
baby. That's why
Keeps
I
that
gotta get it
cycle
out.
going.
If I don't get it out on Twitter, I'm gonna go on the street and hurt somebody. So I gotta do what I gotta do.
I can see that about you. I look at you and I go, yeah, this guy could definitely hurt some people.
Yeah. That said no one. Yeah. What I did a Zoom comedy show the other day, and somebody commented that I look like the headlining act for Antifa. That's what. What's going on, everybody?
Except you can see your face.
Yeah.
Antifa in the house.
Not when I go to Harris Teeter though. I mask up at Harris Teeter.
Ah. Yes.
Which is funny because I always feel like when I wear a mask in public, I feel like I'm about to rob a train in the 1800s.
Yeah.
That's what I look like.
Big bandana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would like to get some. What's his name? The guys that do Kersey Valley.
Oh.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Joe Harp.
Joe Harp.
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
Harp. Shout out Joe Harp. I need a customized mask made to
Yeah.
walk around in. Like I
Yeah.
want something gnarly. I want to just. That's what I want.
Mad Max man.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Yeah.
that. Like oh man.
Oh, 100%. Like I'm. You know what? Why didn't I think about this sooner? Actually, like I think I'm gonna have to commission one.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Commission your mask. Stay healthy in public.
What's happening?
Yeah.
2020 keeps getting crazy, man.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened this year, but it's been crazy.
Okay. And it's been nonstop, 24/7. You wake up and you look at your phone like, what else? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a robbery at one of our stores the other night. Literally, it got robbed
Yeah.
at like, I don't know, let's say 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
The next day, him and I were talking about the robbery, and he's like, oh, did the door get repaired? I'm like, I thought he was talking about a door inside the building that had been broken. He's like, no, the door on the outside. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, the same people that robbed it that we caught on camera, they came back and they backed their truck through the whole building to try and tie to an ATM. Well, they got caught, by the way, but the point, they robbed it twice in the same, at 4 a.m. they came back for more, right? Like, they attempted to rob it twice, rather.
Did you get robbed by the guys from Home Alone?
Apparently.
These kooky robbers.
They're cousins.
Yeah, they're definitely, I think they were definitely doing the hillbilly cocaine, the heroin, something, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Idiots, bro.
Bring your
Idiots.
truck. I got a chain. We'll just wrap the ATM to it. You've seen
Yeah.
movies.
Doesn't-
It'll work.
It doesn't matter
Well,
that there's
they
an
actually
alarm.
broke their truck.
It broke their truck. Oh, they got cameras and alarm. We don't
Oh, my
care.
God.
It's the apocalypse. We can fuck this
We're
up.
not here to think things through. The whole society's deteriorating. We can take our truck and we
Yeah,
can just ram
man.
it into buildings.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's concrete and it's anchored down. It's not good.
This is Ford Tough. We got a Ford Tough truck. It was actually an ad for Ford. They were like, Ford, we'll break through your concrete wall.
I wonder if it was a Ford. Wouldn't that be hilarious? He's high. He watched that commercial. He's like, let's go get this shit done.
Guys, look, I saw an ad. We're Ford Tough. We
Yeah.
can make it.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. And here's the funny part is the girl he brought with him wasn't like a girl my size. Like, you got a big girl that can lift some shit. That's one thing. That girl.
Oh, it was a date.
Oh, yeah. It was
Yeah.
a date. That's what was going on.
I know a spot. It's
Hey, no
through
more,
this guy's wall.
No more dates off Craigslist ads. That's what this guy's got. He's got to stop fucking picking girls up on Craigslist. That's the problem.
Need to be down
Could have
for
been
a
a Snickers commercial too.
B&E.
It was a convenience store, so he may have just got in there and got a Snickers and be like, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, we're about to.
feeling confident.
Yeah, man.
That's what I would love to see. Like a non-confident bank robber. Like, hey, you want to go for it? Like, I don't know, maybe. You know, maybe. Can I bring my girl with me?
Yeah.
And he gets there and he's like, I don't know if we can do this.
Guys, I don't know. I'm having second thoughts. I don't know if my truck's tough enough.
It's not Ford.
You've already driven through the front of the building.
I know, but I mean, now
May
we
as
gotta
well
get the
go for
chain,
it.
and I don't know.
Like, imagine getting out of the truck and seeing you fucked your truck up, like, beyond, like, it's not driving, and you're like, what do you do then? Like, oh, fuck, man. Like that moment, I wish I was there to laugh at the fucker to his face. Like, really, man? Like, really? Like, oh, I wouldn't.
Then he
so
sees
funny.
the camera.
Yeah. Then listen, we got some footage, man. I got to show you this one day. Like, dude's crawls in, falls in through the ceiling. He gets up. He looks up right at the camera. We see his face clear as day. He looks right up, and you see his reaction, and it's just like, you fucking idiot. Like
The Curb Your Enthusiasm music starts playing.
So, yeah, man. Fucking people.
That's so funny.
That's 2020 in the house, man.
2020 as a bank robbery.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Where did we? I don't know where the fuck we got.
I don't know. We were talking about stuff, and then we got sidetracked. But that was interesting. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed that.
I love it.
So, what's the last thing you did before the quarantine?
Oof. Well, I was going into work. Okay. So I remember the day they sent us home when I was in the office. We were in the writer's room, and it was like maybe like 11, like 10 a.m. We had our morning meeting, and then we're just hanging out in the writer's room, and then we get a phone call from like the head of like the whole everything, and he goes, "Yeah, send all the writers home." And apparently it was like getting to the point where like in the news, because at first the news was like whatever, and then the news was like JK, it's bad. And then as soon as it got like super serious, we all got sent home, and I have been in my home 99% of the time. I have left for the grocery store, and I'll occasionally, like, I live in Greenville right now, but I go back and forth from Greenville and Raleigh because my family is in Raleigh. Yeah. So I'll see them like on like every other weekend or whatever, just because they're all constantly in their homes as well. It's so funny to see them at each other's throats. Like, that's the funniest thing in the world. Like, because it's my mom, my sister, and my brother all living together right now, and they're just like, I come home and they're yelling about the tiniest, little, smallest things. I'm like, I'm going back to Greenville. Yeah. Going back to where I live, home alone.
Well, what was your last show that you did? Your last comedy show?
Last show I did, oh god, I think it might have been an open mic at Goodnights. I'm pretty sure, or some kind of like maybe like the Comics Against Humanity show. Possibly, it was definitely a show at Goodnights, or it might have been one of the open mics in Greenville, because those happen every single week. I go to Goodnights occasionally because I got to go in from Greenville to Raleigh, but yeah, it's been like 4 to 5 months since I did an actual decent live comedy show in front of a bunch of people. I did do one of the Idiot Box quarantine shows.
Yeah, I'm doing those.
Yeah. That was it was just good to get out and see people. My God, even though it was a crowd of 5 and they were all just comics, I got to work on some stuff.
We're doing 10 now.
10? Oh, nice. We're moving on up.
Now.
We're doing 10, and then you look at the news like, all right, back to 5. We're going back down.
Are they doing any open mics your way?
No, not in Greenville. The bars are kind of opening up a little bit, but we would be like, "Hey, can we do shows now?" And they're like, "Not yet," because the Greenville room we have is this teeny tiny little room that we pack way too full. Yeah. So there's no way we can do shows in there for a while.
It's perfect for comedy.
Yeah, great for comedy because it's a small crowd, but it feels big.
Yeah.
Terrible for Corona. Great for comedy. Terrible for Corona. Apparently, those things don't mix. Those things aren't a good mix.
I got the solution to all your problems.
Yeah.
We need to host comedy, live comedy, just like pop-up comedy inside a Home Depot or Lowe's. You get 1,000 people there, man. You like literally pop-up comedy.
But it's a very specific demographic, though. You got to have some very targeted material to that crowd.
We talk about hardwood and like all kinds of stuff.
What's the deal with mahogany? This guy gets it.
We solved the problem. 1,000 in attendance. No Corona present.
Or they just all die like a month later.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
You just keep recycling your crowds.
Yeah, exactly. I can keep doing this material, right? Everyone that saw my old jokes, they're all dead, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. never have to.
It's a new crowd every time.
Hey, no, we'll just have to stop. They can't take their smartphones in, right? So we have no witnesses to what's taking place.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna put some bouncers at the door, like, hey, turn your phone in. If you want in.
Home Depot? What I got?
We just wanted to plant a new garden. Fuck your garden. Give me your phone.
I'm gonna give away all the secrets that Home Depot has with my phone.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Hopefully next year will be more normal.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, yeah.
They'll have some better treatments and stuff.
What a fun thing to hope for. Hopefully next year everything will be okay.
Yeah, this year's pretty much shot, I think. But
at
least for comedy and live performances, there may be some. I mean, there's some stuff happening, but
I feel like when everyone goes back, though, everyone's going to have Corona material, and I feel like everyone's going to be sick of Corona material right away. Like, unless you have like the hottest, most original, unique Corona bit, But everyone's going to be like, so being alone was weird, social distancing, huh? Everyone's going to be like, masks, Everyone's going to have like the same 4 jokes about Corona.
Right? Yeah.
So I've done. That's why I like doing those like Zoom shows and those quarantine shows now, so I can get that out of the way, so that we can go back. We can talk about
other shit,
other stuff.
Well, the time you guys start back, it's going to be political season, right? We're already in political season.
Oh my God!
The election's coming up, so it's going to go straight from this. Straight to the bullshit.
Well,
We're
also,
almost there.
Everyone being at home right now, it's so difficult because I've noticed that like you try to write some like Corona-related material, or you try to write something about the political climate that we're in, but no one's doing shows right now, and because no one's doing shows right now, everything's on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever. So you'll think of a Corona bit that you got to hold on to for 5 months before we get back to get back to what's going on. But while you're there, 14 other people have already made that joke on Twitter, and it's already got viral on Twitter. So I mean, like it's so, and everything moves so fast now. It feels like you try to stockpile material right now, but like 2-3 weeks go by, it's out the door already. Like it's already old.
I'm not
old
even
news.
writing Corona stuff. I'm just writing my other material. I mean, it'll work its way in. Like it'll just usually just during the open mics, something will just relate to it. I'll just throw it out there, but I'm not trying to write stuff about Corona. Just because of that reason, because everyone...
Exactly.
It's the biggest thing on everyone's plate.
Corona's going to replace Tinder jokes because everyone has their oh, so I was swiping the other day.
I'm too old for those anyway.
Yeah.
I missed that phase.
I was in like a 5-year-long relationship when it like blew up, and then I just this is one of the bits I did. It was like right before Corona happened. Me and my long-term girlfriend broke up, so that was good timing on that one. Awesome, yeah.
Now you're really alone.
I was like, I want to be alone right now, and God was like, oh yeah, bet, yeah, you'll feel it. Yeah, you'll feel very alone for about 6 months. Yeah, no problem. But it was then I then got into Tinder after that, and it was like an old man being like, what are the kids doing nowadays? Oh, they're on, like I was like a divorcee, like just getting into the whole Tinder. I have aged hundreds of years already. Like my generation has gone through a recession, a depression, Corona, all these wars. I'm 90 years old right here.
Damaged generation.
Oh yeah, no, I had a full head of hair like a year ago, and now it's starting to recede. And it's not genetics, it's stress.
Yeah,
it's just the news slowly killing me.
I'm going to start a Tinder profile, but I think I got to get your wife's permission. But I'd like to use his, like a couple of his headshots and some of his body images. Start my Tinder. I think I'm going to be very successful if I do that.
What's the reaction you hope for when they see you in person though? Like what do you want them to be like? Like because if you use all of his pictures and then they come and see you, do you want them to be like, oh yeah, okay, sure, yes. What happened?
I didn't think it through.
That's the fun thing about a catfish is they never think it all the way through to the meat.
Oh my god! But it'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Better get your wife's permission first.
No. Hey, listen. Here's the real funny part: is I'll show up with my wife. What do you think about that? Like, really throw a curveball. Yeah, I'm sorry, Neil couldn't be here, but I decided I'd come, and my wife said she was fine with it as long as she got to come too, and make sure I didn't do anything inappropriate.
You are on the wrong website, sir, for inappropriate. That's why I like Bumble, because Bumble, they got to talk to you first, That just takes the pressure off of me. I hate starting the conversation, like, hey, boobies, sorry, I'm going to go.
Oh, you look so nice.
There's so many different social media options, though. It's insane. Like, how do you keep up with all of them? I don't even do Twitter. I post stuff on there, and I don't even have any following or anything. I don't do anything on Twitter. I just will share stuff from Instagram to Twitter. Maybe one day it'll gain followers. I just don't have time to deal with it. I just don't have the bandwidth.
Yeah. I mean, like everyone, like a lot of comedians right now are jumping on TikTok.
Yeah,
can't stand TikTok.
Too, man.
I hate it. That TikTok makes me feel old. I'm 23 and I look at TikTok like, oh, that's what the kids are doing.
I started one with the intention of doing it. I'm gonna look right now just to check because I'm interested.
Yeah.
So literally, I've done nothing on it. Now I will give TikTok credit. I've done nothing and I'm growing. I have no fucking clue how. But I've got like 42 people, and I had 12 last week. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I keep adding people, right?
Yeah.
I wish the other platforms were like that.
Well, TikTok is great because it's designed for you to kind of like gather a following or whatever. Like the way the algorithm works, it kind of like forces your stuff out there. And that's why I tried to get on it, was because I tried to, because I have a little bit of an audience on my Instagram, really. My Instagram, I have like 25,000 followers, but that's not all me. That's all MrBeast's crumbs. I just kind of go, that's all. Yum, 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 yum. But TikTok was great because that was so I could develop my own following or whatever. And I've been posting some of my stand-up. I've been posting a little bit of skits. And I've been posting some stuff on YouTube, just like some little skits or whatever when I have time, because 90% of my time is taken up from, writing full-time, especially now that I'm home. Because when you're working from home, instead of going into the office and doing a 9 to 5, basically it's you're on the clock all the time, and when they need something, you do it.
Yeah.
So maybe I have a long morning where I don't do anything, but then I'm working all night, or I'll do the traditional. I wake up at 9, get some stuff done, and then do whatever I got to do. But then whenever I have time, I'll post YouTube videos or whatever. But on TikTok, I've seen some comedians. All they got to do is, and if they got to do it right though, because you could do it sloppily or lazily or whatever, but
right.
Drew Robertson is one person in particular who's gotten a really, really solid TikTok following by just posting a stand-up up there and then putting the captions with
wow.
the way that TikTok does it, I guess, and just old clips he's got with the full crowd. Put your captions on it, and I don't know how it works, what the correct formula for the TikTok algorithm,
right.
But he's crushing it, and he's got a large following with it, and you get a full minute. So if you have a really punchy bit that only takes a minute to get to,
But it's good that he's got his crowd
mm-hmm.
there on the tape. So I think that's the problem with comedy. If you don't have a crowd, it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, that's why the Zoom. I can't stand the Zoom shows. I'll do them. Don't get me wrong. It's good to do something. I'm trying to test out material.
Can you hear the other people laughing?
So the last Zoom show I did, it was the oh god, what's the one? Zogs, the Zogs Luxury Open Mic Zoom show, and that's the one hosted by Josh Rosenstein. I did that show, and it was just the comics that you could hear in there. So the comics were encouraged to laugh. And I remember it was Josh and Will Papura that were the only comedians that were laughing the whole time. They were great crowd, the two of them. That's how I gauged how good the new material was by those two, their laughter. So
that's cool.
Having the full audience though, I don't think I've done a Zoom show where they've opened. Because that's weird to just all right, turn on your mic and send in your laughs to the, that's so.
I could see it working when VR is really good.
Oh yeah, I've done. So that's funny. I have a VR. I have the Oculus Quest.
I do too. I love it. Yeah.
So good with no cords or whatever. You can do it literally
it's
anywhere. It's fantastic. But they had concerts in VR. Did you do any of those?
I haven't. I almost did one a few weeks ago, and my wife wanted me to do something else. So
I saw. I air quote saw Billie Eilish, but she's such a soft-spoken singer. She's like, so I'm sitting there in VR I can't hear her. Can I get closer? And then I click closer. And then I get closer. I still can't hear her because that's not how this works in
she
this
likes to whisper.
realm.
Have you seen the I have watched some 360 VR concerts that are awesome.
Oh, I haven't done those. No,
that's fun. Yeah, all the 360 VR stuff on YouTube is incredible.
Yeah. Mine was almost like the Oculus Quest. It was you had an avatar and you were next to some other avatar, and it's this weird guy who his characteristics that he put together was a mohawk and these weird sunglasses or whatever. I'm that's not what you look like in real life. I know it's not.
Yeah. The first time I got in Quest, I went into the big theater. Mm-hmm. And it's there's just tons of people in there, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. These are real people.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, but it's not. It's still not like being around a live audience, but it could easily be that.
Well, it's so funny because everybody in the VR, they just kept talking the whole time.
Yeah, that's why it was in the theater.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that at a real concert.
Shut the fuck up, guys. There's a movie.
Hey, I'm in VR. Shh. Hey, there's a show. Relax.
What are you gonna do about it?
You want to fight? You want to go? And now it becomes we're just with our avatars. Come here. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool though if they had that feature?
Yeah.
Kick the shit out of each other.
There's a little mini game off in the corner, a little bar fight mini game.
Challenge you to a round.
Yeah. Like hockey.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. I got to try this shit. I've never done that. I got to try it now.
VR is crazy.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, I got I always forget what it's called because it's got a really long name, but it's some robot samurai game where because there's that one game, Super Hot, where the more you move, the faster your enemies come at you. So if you stay still, your enemies stay still. So you got to plan out, all right, what am I going to do? What's my next move? And then you go, and it's like the Matrix, you're doing that. There's another game like that, only in that game you kind of stand still and they kind of come at you. But in this other game, you can flip around and do backflips and stuff. And you're using the controllers, but you're still in VR. You're still looking around. And that game, I've showed it to people, and the first 40 minutes they just get nauseous. They can't handle how crazy that game is. They're like, oh, Jake, I can't handle that. I gotta take that off. That's not for me. But then after that 40 minutes, you're like, all right, I got it. We're good.
That's awesome. Have you played virtual reality in VR?
No, wait, what is that like? What is that?
It's cool, man. It's this. It's on the Quest.
Yeah.
And it's you go into this game and it's got this tutorial and this robot's like teaching you how to do everything.
Oh yeah, is that like the tutorial that comes with the thing, right?
Yeah. And you grab like some VR goggles and put them on.
Yeah.
And then you go into another layer of VR.
Oh,
and
that's funny.
You keep going deeper and deeper.
Deeper and deeper. Do you have to take them all off when you get out? You're like, hold on, I'm in so many layers.
Well, it was when I first got mine, and I was actually sitting in the bed beside my wife.
Yeah.
She was asleep, and I was just like really just wrapped up in this thing.
Yeah.
It's
She's asleep minding her own business, and you're in another world.
Totally, yeah. And I was just like just completely submersed in this other world. And my wife taps me on the shoulder like, fuck!
Like a Vietnam vet coming out of like a PTSD nightmare. Charlie!
I was like, how do I get this off?
They're everywhere. I feel them.
I went too deep. I'm too deep.
It was so funny. It's a really psychedelic experience.
Oh,
man.
yeah, absolutely.
It's very interesting. But
well, there's that one show on Netflix right now that Duncan Trussell, it's the Midnight Gospel. Like the whole point of that show is like he kind of like goes into these different VR worlds and I love that show so much.
Yeah, imagine when VR is like that.
Oh yeah, no, I give it like 10 years before we're doing that kind of
insane.
We're just doing VR into the multiverse. We've figured it out.
You forget where you're at.
Yeah. Oh, I'm at Harris Teeter. Sorry guys, pardon me. I gotta.
Am I naked?
Am I still in VR?
Well, that's funny because like the Oculus Quest, there's like no cords or whatever. So you can. I would love if there was like an Oculus Quest game that was almost like Pokemon Go, where you can like go everywhere, but you're just like out and about, just doing stuff.
Well, think about when it's like Neuralink. It's in your head.
Oh, don't start me there.
Then it malfunctions. You're actually in VR.
I'm not letting them put nothing in my brain. They're not gonna. They can't.
Oh, come on.
I'll put on whatever, but I'm not putting nothing in me.
You know you want to.
Wait a second. What happened to
I'll wait till a few million people do it.
What happened to young, impressionable young man actor ready to be taken advantage of?
Oh, that was anybody who can help me in the industry. Look, if I can put a chip in my brain that will get me booked, like no problem. I'll do whatever I gotta do.
Well, then you can go do stand up and not have to leave your house.
We're already there. We're already with my Zoom. Oh, I hate.
But it'll be real.
It'll be real.
It'll seem real.
With the holograms, I'll Tupac hologram my way onto the set.
What's real?
Oh, what is real? Is that where this podcast is going? Who put acid in my drink? Who? All right. What's real?
It's just part of it, Just let go.
A full-on podcast. Everyone
let it happen.
does acid in the beginning, and then we see the conversation deteriorate over time.
It ends up with us
We're all
sitting
just
here
staring
at stuff and talking. Oh man!
How does the microphone take my sound and put it in the computer?
What is a microphone?
What is it? How does it work? That's not real wood. Have you seen? There's this thing on social media I saw where like an artist like took a bunch of acid and then like started doing self-portraits, but he did like a different they only took like 30 minutes.
See that, yeah.
And then it's like the first one, and then it gets more and more abstract as it goes on. But then once it goes like full circle and he starts to come down. It's not that it's still abstract, but it's almost like impressionist to where he incorporated the abstract stuff while then trying to bring it back to realism like halfway through.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. I love that.
Interesting, yeah.
Love that so much.
You gotta forward that to me. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I'll have to find it again. It was years ago when I saw it.
Oh, yeah, no, it was forever ago, but it was in my brain.
Yeah.
It's never left my brain.
Or like Alex Gray's got some really cool artwork too.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous.
You can yell an art name at me. I won't know it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Art and sports. I don't know a lot of things.
He did Tools artwork.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good artist.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm really bad. I feel like I was not like sheltered, but like almost self-sheltered to where I was like, all right, this is my tiny little window of pop culture, and I'll obsess over that, and then anything outside of that, I'll be totally ignorant to. And people will be like, oh, sports, cars, or whatever. I'm sorry. I can tell you a comedian from the 20s, but I can't tell you anything about what's currently happening in the realm of sports.
I have no interest in sports at all.
Me neither.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Which
you guys
you would
seem
look at us and you'd be
yeah,
like, yeah.
Yeah, you guys seem like masculine, like very like I'm not like a super masculine dude, but like
What?
I took what? Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate that. That made me feel nice. Well, him, he's not. No. But I took a test in my sociology class when I was in high school, and it told me I was gender neutral. And I'm currently working on a bit right now about how because now that I'm single, I'm trying to figure out what my type is, and my type apparently is almost lesbians. It's apparently it's very, very close, but it is.
We've got one of those in the building right now.
Perfect. Yeah.
Sorry, April.
It's girls who don't usually like guys. You know, it's like they almost exclusively date women because they're like, oh, guys are too, aggressive and masculine. But then they go, oh, but not Jake. That's nope.
April.
I'm a little lady boy. What are you?
I'm talking to this camera right here.
Yeah.
When she's gonna watch this in pass, I found your guy. She's literally in the building right now.
That's why I said I have like a
She
pregnant
can just pick
lady's
you up
body
and carry
type.
you home.
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little spoon. I tell you.
Oh yeah. She'd love that.
I got massive little spoon energy.
If
that wasn't a perfect representation of what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's hilarious. She's itty bitty. The only part she's missing is the pregnant.
Oh well.
She could pass for
Oh,
14.
right.
I can pass for pregnant, so that's perfect.
Oh man, I don't even know.
What were we even talking about?
It doesn't matter.
I will not keep the conversation going straight. I will derail it into places it should not go, and I deeply apologize.
Oh no, this is
no, it's
awesome.
good, yeah.
I'm getting comfortable. Like I'm just scooting down in my chair over here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that's the acid, actually. I'm just. All right, guys.
You are the chair.
I have 4 legs, and I will support you.
Oh man.
Oh, sports, yes.
Yeah, sports.
Did you see, what was it? Like, I think South Korea started doing sports again, but they're not, like, letting audience members in. So I saw one
They had,
where...
like, fake audience members.
It was like an audience full of stuffed animals. Like a bunch of... Like, what's a very South Korean thing to do? Isn't it like a bunch of, like, Hello Kitties in the background just watching you do your thing? Crazy.
They just use the North Korean audience for their sports stuff.
I do the same thing for my comedy crowds now. It's all my stuffed animals from when I was a kid, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's just getting that bad. huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's getting a little bad, you know. I'll turn any regular conversation I have with a human into a stand-up set to where they're like, "Hey, Jake, stop doing that. Can you talk to me like a person, please? Can you not do a bit on me right now?" I'm sorry, that's what my therapist said. My therapist said, "Hey, why do you?" You know what she said to me? She said, "Are you always like that? You know, can you ever turn it off?" And I go, "No, it's a defense mechanism. If I stop, I'll cry. I swear to God, if I stop, I'll cry."
God dang, that would suck too.
Do what?
Just we're having a conversation and you just start crying and be like, oh fuck.
Oh, don't tempt me. I will. I'll do it. You bring some stuff up.
Bring him back.
Yeah.
Bring your friend back. Oh, sports, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I never got into it, man. You know what?
We do like UFC.
Yeah, I like. Well, I can get behind people that have excelled at something, and if it happens to be athletics, great. But they've excelled at something, right? And then they've taken that and they've done like great things that they're passionate about in the community or in business. Like those people, I know them, and I know that they made their money. They got started in sports. I know that. But I don't just, and I mean, it's cool. It is what it is. I just don't like go, oh man, this guy, nobody can kick a soccer ball better than him. I don't give a fuck.
I just don't have time.
Yeah.
Like I've got business, and acting, and comedy, and writing. Family.
Yeah. That was 5th on the list. Let the record show that family came 5th on the list. All right.
Well, flip that around. But I mean,
he was
I just
saving
don't
the
have
best
the
for
bandwidth
last.
for it.
Yeah.
I don't have time, and then social media.
Yeah.
We have to promote the show and stuff, so it's too much.
Yeah, no, like to be able to sit down. Like Sunday is like the only day you get, and then to fill that with something, you know? Like, why do you got to fill every day with something, you know? Let me have my Sunday. I don't want to sit there and have to follow a thing, make buffalo wings. I don't have the time.
The only sports I ever liked anyway were like, I mean, when I was a kid, I skateboarded. I played baseball when I was really young. I enjoyed that, but I never enjoyed watching it a whole lot. But I enjoyed I like extreme sports. I'll still watch some skateboarding.
Yeah.
I like motorsports, like European motorsports, Formula One, and MotoGP, and all that kind of stuff. I just don't have time to watch it though.
When I was a kid, I feel like very young, I expressed a want to, do like some kind of like performance related thing or whatever. And then when that like started happening, my dad was like, "Oh no!" and put me in a bunch of sports. He was like, "Oh, we got to cut that out. We gotta make sure this guy comes out very, very manly. Put some hair on this little boy's chest. We got to do that." So they put me in like baseball,
so
karate,
your dad's goal
swim
for you
team.
wasn't gender neutral.
No, it was not. But he's currently in jail, so it's fine. We don't got to worry about it.
Yeah, you showed him.
Yeah, my dad. Ha! I am out of jail. Look at that. I'm crushing it. But yeah, no. So when I was a kid, they put me in like all those sports or whatever, and the only one that stuck for the longest time was swim team, and I did swim team for like 11 years, from like 6 to 17. And that was, fine. But again, I would use swim team almost like the whole team. I'm just sitting there like goofing around with everybody. And then I'm not like competing against like anybody. Like you're competing against your best time, like track or whatever. And I never cared. I was like, oh, that's fine. I don't need to get faster.
Skateboarding, you're competing against yourself.
Yeah. And I skateboarded a little bit, but not enough to where I did any tricks or whatever. I skateboarded to work. Like I was using it as a mode of transportation.
Yeah. That's actually a lot more popular with your generation than mine.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the longboards, at least on the East Coast.
Well, I took a regular skateboard, but then I got those like gel wheels for it, so it was like good for the gravel, not gravel, but like like the asphalt and stuff.
You don't hit a small rock and smash your face.
Oh, 100%. Like you get some kind of like bad chunk of sidewalk, but
So I got to ask you, because some of the guys that were on our swim team, I always thought, man, it'd be awesome to be on a swim team. And my reason was not to swim. My reason was I wanted to fuck all the girls on the swim team.
Yeah. I used to do.
So what's your experience with that?
I used to, when I was really, really young, I used to do a bit about how swim team was the worst when it came to picking up women. Because you can flirt with them and it's fine, but when they flirt back, you're like, hey, I'm in a Speedo, relax. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, okay, chill. I got to swim backstroke in a second. Like, you give me like 2 seconds. I don't want to look like a Jaws movie reenactment. Like, relax. Chill out. And I was doing that when I was 16. Yeah. Which that was the I feel like my whole family didn't like my parents were supportive of it, but like my external family, whatever, like grandparents or whatever, they weren't as supportive of it when I was a kid because I was doing that kind of material when I was a kid. They're like, oh, he's talking about his penis a lot. That's not.
That's all you think about.
That's exactly.
That's all I got. What am I gonna talk about? Some like social commentary? I'm 15. Relax.
You're sitting in class. You're like, oh, please don't call me to come to the board.
Please.
I miss those days, actually.
I'm not sure how this thing works yet.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
Why is my dick hard? No. It happened. And what's crazy is it could be hard like multiple periods in a row.
Yeah.
Like switching classes, I would be like, I wish my boner would go away. I got to change classes in like 20 minutes.
Oh, Jake likes chemistry. He's a big fan.
Oh, shit. I remember I missed those days, though. Now it's like, come on, motherfucker.
Oh, even the classes you hated.
Now it's like you got to like work him in like it's like the fourth quarter, and he's like, all right, we're bottom of the ninth. All right, we got one more. Yeah, that's me trying to do sports references. I don't know if you can tell me throwing 5 different sports in.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, bottom of the ninth.
Yeah. I like it. I remember, too, man, because when you're that young and that energetic, what's it? Virile.
Viral?
Viral.
Viral. They're going to give you a disease?
Viral. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, viral.
Just full of...
Fertile?
Yeah, fertile.
Oh.
Something. So when you're that, like, all of a sudden, people that you probably wouldn't think are normally attractive, you're like, oh, look at that teacher. Yeah. Oh, she's got really thin lips. And you're like, oh, shit. Again, like, you just find something. It doesn't matter what it is, and it's like, oh, yeah, that looks good.
You could be drawing something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when you're a kid, it's like, wow, those clouds look like they have nice nipples. And it's like, that's all you gotta.
I get excited. I start rubbing. I'm like, oh, yeah. So
women are like, don't objectify me. And I'm like, I objectified that chair a minute ago.
Yeah, the chair didn't take it offensively.
A chair, never mind. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Let's be careful.
I do work for a kid show, yo. Relax. It's not a kid show. The target audience is probably like 13 to late 20s. It's like a big window.
We watched a couple episodes.
Yeah, and it's got to stay squeaky clean, which can sometimes be a challenge. Sometimes I'll think of like an idea that I want to do, but it's like just that hair, too much over. And I feel like a little bit the struggle is like I have my own like specific comedic voice, and this is always a thing when it comes to writing for like any show. Is you're not writing for you're writing for the voice of the show. And that was a hurdle that you definitely have to get over because I would do stuff that I think is funny that I think I would do in my voice, and then that's if you're writing for like I think Anthony Jeselnik was talking about writing for Fallon and how difficult that was because he's Anthony Jeselnik and Jimmy Fallon's Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is squeaky clean, very likable, and Anthony Jeselnik is the total opposite.
Yeah, he's awesome though.
I love Anthony Jeselnik. He's great. I was watching his was it Fire in the Maternity Ward? I was watching that the other night. Fantastic, great special.
He's a brilliant writer.
Fantastic!
But he's not like friendly, happy, easygoing.
Yeah, no. And so I remember he was talking about. I think he was talking about on Rogan.
Very dark comedy.
Yeah, he was talking on Rogan. He was talking about how he would write a bit and then Fallon would laugh at it, but then he'd be like, "I can't do this."
Yeah,
this is funny, but I can't do this.
Yeah. Like talking about eating babies or something.
Yeah, something terrible.
All right, we need to make a new channel, and I want to get that demographic that's just beyond that. But I want the XR rated version. That I want this.
Yeah.
I want the market that we can speak to that, and that's not 13-year-olds.
We have to find a new platform.
Well, that's the thing. It's
YouTube
like
won't allow that.
just starting to do something like getting your foothold into this, internet space is so difficult on its own already, and then to go that extra mile of making it like X-rated or whatever. Like it's so hard because everyone is focused on monetization and marketability. And when you're over there talking about especially on YouTube nowadays, because YouTube nowadays is so concerned with making sure what they're putting ads on is something they want to put ads on. Because before it was like, let our YouTube do whatever, and then but then ISIS beheading videos came out, and they were like, whoa, Ford's advertising on what? We can't put our ads on. Hold on, whoa, we can't do that.
A whole new meaning to Ford tough.
I don't want to buy anything now.
I've brought up Ford twice, and neither time it's been good. I have an anti-sponsor.
Be a good place for military ads.
Yeah.
How about a sword maker, right? Like they're doing beheading and boom. We make the best swords.
If I got an ad for swords, I would second guess what I'm looking up on the internet that gets me the targeted advertising to make a sword.
Dude, sometimes the stuff that shows
Algorithm
up on my
severely
suggested feed, sometimes like on my Instagram, I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at that this is what they think I want to look at?
Well, now we're all going to get ads for swords.
Yeah.
my phone pops up. Oh, I got a 2-for-1 if you want some little daggers.
Listen, one of our friends, Shazzer, that he does Shizzy's Wildcat Reserve and charitable event. We help out with that and do some things with that, and we're involved with. So he's on. We're hanging out. We've had many conversations. All of a sudden in my Instagram feed, I start getting like these suggested things, and it's like 2 lions humping each other, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is a bear like trying to hump a. I mean, it's like the random shit. I'm like, I didn't look at any of this stuff.
You ever have like your laptop like hooked up to the TV so you can watch like Netflix or whatever,
yeah,
and then you get an ad pop up, and it's something that you have to pretend you weren't looking at something similar before. You're like, what? Lions humping? Who was? Why is that on my? I don't know who was looking that up on my computer, but.
And I'm not going to say I didn't watch it at least once afterwards.
At least once. Of course,
I mean,
of course.
It suggested it.
You go, that's ridiculous.
It's all
Save
lions
to watch
humping.
later.
Every box is lions humping.
Oh, yeah. You like that shit, don't you?
Clear cookies, clear cookies, clear cookies.
These maybe one more.
Cookies.
Oh, yeah. I can't find that video. What happened? Fucking clear cookies. Yeah.
What's that? Have you guys gotten ads for that one website, wish.com?
Oh, is that the... No. I'm thinking about the sweepstakes one where they're giving away, like, Dan Marino's doing it now and all sorts of stuff. They're giving away houses. But what's the Wish one?
Wish.com is like, it's like a website that's like designed for the weirdest products you could think of. And it's like, it'll send me stuff like, do you need 100 rubber chickens? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What is this?
I wish I had ads for that.
Yeah, it's like, do you need fake penguin legs? And I'm like, no, who does? Who needs that?
Oh, I'm going to check out Wish.com.
It sounds like stuff that people didn't buy from China.
Yeah, it's like all the like specific orders that were sent in to some like Chinese manufacturer, and then they're like, oh, we got to do something with all these weird specific products that we have. Let's just throw them all on one website.
I know what we need to do. We need to start putting in fake orders to China, man. We need to come up with random shit and be a part of this.
That's our cyber warfare. We're just sending in fake orders and then not picking them up.
That's awesome.
There you go. Yeah.
The problem is some idiot out there is on Wish.com going, oh, I need 1,000 rubber chickens.
I'm making an obstacle course. I need 1,000 rubber chickens.
How did you know? Do they have a squeaker inside of them?
Well, they do stuff like
Of course. It's not like a rubber chicken. They don't have a
They
squeaker.
do stuff like that on MrBeast, don't they?
Yeah. It's so funny because I feel like it got
Do
to
a
a
lot of
point.
random-
I feel like it got to a point where the writers would like throw in a bunch of rubber chickens, and then we'd get word from like higher up, and they're like, "Oh, you guys got to knock it off with the rubber chickens. we've had enough of that." And I go, "All right, fair enough. Fair enough."
We watched it just to see how
Which
the fuck
videos
they
did you
got
watch?
so
I'm
many
just curious.
followers. I know one we watched was like where they took these little
The
rubber
Orbeez.
balls,
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably one of
Right.
the videos that really put him on the map, because that was one of the earliest videos that like went like super viral. And that's the whole thing is
millions and millions of views.
Oh yeah, no, like if we have a video that has like 10 million views, that's a bad video. Like we get in trouble if it gets like 10 million views, like because we have to like minimum it's got to break 20.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what's wrong with people.
Yeah.
They're watching this. You watch stuff like an important video, like really like scientific information. It's got like 200,000 views.
Yeah.
You watch a video on Orbeez, it's got like 30 million views.
Well, the good thing is, like, yeah, half the time, like, half the videos are, you know, like, because we got to do videos that, like, are designed to, like, get the widest audience possible. But then some of his videos are designed to do a bunch of good. You know, he's got a bunch of charitable videos. Like, he's the guy that teamed up with this other guy that planted 20 million trees, which was perfect because that was, like, right before they did that campaign, the Amazon rainforest, like, burnt the fuck down. You know, so a lot of the 20 million trees, you know, for the $20 million that they raised for that, is now going, you know, towards that. You know,
so that's great. And, you know, we need stuff. We need nonsense videos, especially right now.
The nonsense videos fund the charitable videos.
Yeah,
that's kind of their formula.
People need an escape, too.
Yeah.
You need something that's not political, that's not ideological. It's just something to let your brain say, oh, I don't have to do anything.
I can just
enjoy
decompress, especially right now, you know. Because like while it's really, really important, you know, to stay engaged, you know, stay involved, you know, especially with the political climate the way it is right now, it's really important. But at the same time, there is a level of like maintaining some kind of like personal mental health, you know, because I'll be on Twitter just getting sad, you know, oh God, what happened this time? And then I gotta take a minute and just be like, all right, let me watch something stupid. Oh God.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So two or 3 weeks ago, my buddy Michael Bennett, shout out Mike, best friend since we were 11 years old.
Yeah.
His birthday, I convinced him to go to a local bar. We'll just leave it at that.
Nothing positive has ever been preceded, but we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. And I'm on like social media. It's like everybody hates everybody. Like it's just hate. I'm gonna give you, you know, one positive thing that came from this. I show up. Some people remembered me from a long time ago. I bought their way in because there was a cover. We get in and it's like this melting pot. Literally, like I don't know, 100, 150 people in a space big enough for 50. There's no social distancing taking place. That's why I'm not mentioning the bar. Another reason. And it's like a melting pot of just everything, and everybody's fine. And like I'm on social media, and in that moment, I'm like, but reality is not what's represented in social media. They're taking all the worst of whatever humanity has to give, whatever side you're on, and it's just blasting it, right, constantly. And I'm sitting here, and we're all like we're all in a bar. We're listening to various types of music. We're all interacting. Everybody's having a good time. Like, it's like, man, reality at this point is such a break from this shit that's in this phone. And it used to be that the phone, the stuff on this was a break from reality. I feel like it's switched.
Yeah. And I also feel like the people that you will make the most noise on social media, whether it's the right or the left, you know, I feel like the loudest and probably sometimes most ill-informed people will often be the minority of those groups, you know, and so the groups on either side will be like, oh, y'all are a bunch of, you know, the racist bigots, and the other side is, oh, y'all are a bunch of, you know, sensitive snowflakes or whatever, and that's such like a, I believe 95% of people exist in this.
Pretty close to the middle.
Yeah, pretty close to the middle, whether you're left or right leaning, you know, but like it's I can have a conversation with plenty of people, but that being said, I go on, you know, social media. Oh, I see some dummies, and then I got it, and then I'm the idiot that, you know, I'll see some like anti-vaxxer stuff, and then I gotta, you know, just like, you fucking idiot, God damn it, son of a God,
you just can't.
I can't. Oh God,
bro, Neil did a post about the unicorn. Neil did a it was a
parody.
It was a parody.
Yeah,
it was a joke.
Yeah,
completely cynical, and then
oh my Lord,
it just brought in some crazy people.
Yeah.
They went nuts. I was like, oh, you guys have fun with that.
Yeah, it's got a picture of a rainbow. I mean, like it's got a unicorn. Like it was clearly a joke.
Yeah. Making fun of that. What's that? That conspiracy theory video that's coming out.
The scientist chick.
Yeah. What is it called?
Which conspiracy theory?
There's so many now.
It's like the pandemic conspiracy.
Oh, like it's like all Bill Gates is trying to
pandemic.
Like Bill Gates is trying to put like tracking chips in a vaccine for this thing or something.
Yeah,
like something.
Something
And that was
like that,
that was one of the things that I had to be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? God damn it, son of a bitch. Yeah, no, but I like don't get me wrong. As somebody I do enjoy conspiracy theories a little bit. Like I've almost had to taper off because they're getting so ridiculous now.
They are, yeah.
But I will say, when it comes to the left and the right, though, what I feel like everyone, whether they think they are or not, they're coming together on the Epstein. Epstein. What's that other girl's name? Like
the one that just got arrested.
She just got arrested.
Yeah.
I forget her name, but it's like them. Like the story about them two.
Yeah.
Because the people on the left will post about like Trump and all the pictures, you know, with Epstein and that lady with Trump, and then people on the right will post all those pictures with like the Clintons, and I'm like, little do you both know that both of them were heavily involved.
Yeah.
So it's good to see like, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh, oh, both parties are involved.
We agree.
Yeah.
Politicians are
Oh,
bad.
no. You mean it's all of them and it's a big old cesspool of evil over there? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, and then you got to throw the king and his people in there.
Oh, yeah, the royal family?
Yeah, the royal family, yeah.
And it's also, and don't get me wrong, this is where I get into the conspiracy. It's a bunch of celebrities. It's a bunch of, the rich people. It's a bunch of, wealthy CEOs. It's a whole bunch of people that are involved in this. Okay, look, I tried. Okay, listen. I tried to do a bit for so long, and the bit never worked. And the bit was about how, like this whole thing is happening, and right away, everybody was right on board. They were like, yeah, pedophile ring in the government, 100%. Yeah, I'm on board with it. But like way back, there was another conspiracy theory. You guys remember Pizzagate?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank God you guys do, because whenever I do that on stage, no one remembers Pizzagate. And I'm the crazy person bringing it up.
So ridiculous, man.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, and I'm not perpetuating Pizzagate. I'm not a believer in Pizzagate whatsoever. That's what I needed to make clear on stage. That's what I think the problem was. I think people were like, oh, he thinks that's real. I don't think that's real. But I do think that the difference in those two stories is so tiny. Like, one was a pedophile ring that was on an island, right? Crazy. And the other one, exact same story, pedophile ring in the government, like they know about it, it goes way up. But this one is in the basement of a pizza place. That is the only difference. The only difference in those stories is one takes place in the basement of...
Maybe Epstein created Pizzagate.
That's exactly what literally I was going to say. I think when like conspiracy theory gets out, the government will be like, what kind of bullshit detail can we add to throw everybody off the scent? They're like, oh, they're going to find out about the whole ring? They're going to find, the ring. You're going to find out about the whole ring? Let's tell them it's in the basement of a pizza place. And everybody will be like, that's crazy. And that's exactly what happened. And again, I'm not saying Pizzagate was real. It was totally made up. But the Epstein stuff's real.
Have you seen the TV series, the Netflix series Happy?
Happy. Oh, is that the guy from Loner SVU? What's his name? Yeah. I've seen the first couple of episodes.
It's completely crazy.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, but it reminds me of the Epstein thing. There's a guy that's just taking all these super rich politicians and celebrities, and he's basically blackmailing them all.
Yeah,
so he can control them.
Which, of course,
and I feel like that's what Epstein was.
Yeah, I think there was like a scene in Ozark. You guys watch Ozark?
Yeah.
Oh, love that.
I've only seen the first season, but it's really good.
Oh, well, then I'm not going to bring this up then. I'm not going to spoil nothing for you because it's good, and I would rather not spoil it, so I'm not going to do that anymore. All right,
he's
backtrack.
considerate. He's considerate.
I'm considerate. I'm
definitely not an athlete.
If an athlete watched Ozark, let me tell you how season 3 ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Ozark's thoroughly good. Ozark's great because it seems so real. Doesn't it? Like you watch a bunch of crime shows and they all seem ridiculous. Yeah. Like I was watching this thing where they have like an actual like FBI agent who specializes in money laundering, like examining shows, and they were like, "Yeah, Ozark's nailed it. Like they got it. That's how you do it. Whoever writes for Ozark, we should investigate that guy. He knows what he's doing."
Who are they? Who's their source?
Yeah, how do they know so much?
Oh, damn it!
Their consultants are the cartel.
Yeah.
We're trying to get them out of the drug business, guys.
I think the show Ozark is a front for some money laundering. I'm pretty sure. I think Netflix
Jason
is just
Bateman
money laundering.
Is actually some leader of a cartel.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
That's what it is.
What a timid leader of a drug cartel.
It's a great front.
Hey, what are you? Hey, whoa, hey, don't. That's my question is, whoa, hey, don't put those drugs over there. Whoa, hey.
That's good.
I don't do impressions when it comes to like their voice, but I just love mannerisms.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey, that's all Jason Bateman does.
He's a good actor, though.
I love Jason Bateman so
much. Great writer.
When I finished Ozark, it made me want to go back and watch Arrested Development and just pretend that's like funny Ozark, like just.
See, isn't it crazy though how somebody's role? Because I've only watched the first season as well. It's very hard for me to watch TV, but so I watched season 1. But when you watch something like him as an actor, the actor I knew before that show, now he feels totally different.
Well, he did a lot of comedy stuff.
Yeah,
he was almost entirely a comedic actor. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm not that familiar with Jason Bateman, but yeah.
But he's just a really good. I mean, now you see he's just a great actor and writer
and
director.
When I watched the credits and it said directed by Jason Bateman, I was like, oh, good for him! Holy shit!
Have you seen the series he produced on HBO?
What series? Which one?
Do you know the name of it?
Was that the Stephen King?
Yeah.
I forget the name of
I
it,
can't
but
think
it's
of the
pretty
name
good.
of it. It's really good. Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
It's like a supernatural.
Is that gonna be on like HBO
horror
Max or
series.
whatever? Is that where that's gonna go? Or
It's on HBO streaming.
that's the thing about HBO Max is it's so confusing because I thought I already had HBO. So what's this new thing that's coming out? What is that? You know?
I get HBO through my Apple TV, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I think like because I have like Amazon Prime or whatever, I have like a subsect
Yeah.
of HBO because I'd be watching Barry. Oh,
No, I get it through Amazon. That's right.
Yeah,
through
yeah.
Amazon Prime. Yeah, Barry's good.
love Barry so much.
I actually worked with the guy that died in the first episode.
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
The blonde dude.
Yeah.
Tyler. I worked with him on another series.
Oh, that's fantastic.
On The Village. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. I love Barry
Really
so
cool
much.
guy.
Bill Hader's fantastic. And Bill Hader, I didn't know he could act. Like I knew he was funny, but like there's scenes where he actually
he's a
has
really good
to.
actor, yeah.
He's great.
He's in the new It.
Yeah. I thought the new It was pretty good. I thought the first one was, because the first It was fantastic. I thought it was great. The child actors, usually child
you
actors
still
suck.
think that?
Do what?
Have you seen it recently?
The
The
first
original TV version?
Oh no.
The first new one.
The first new one.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
There's so many reboots, you got to be really specific. No, the first old new reboot sequel. You know the one.
The one five versions
Yeah.
ago.
I heard a rumor that they're I don't know if you guys are into the new Star Wars movies. I mean, I see your Star Wars shirt. What do you think of the new Star Wars movies?
I like them hit or miss.
Hit or miss. Yeah.
They're not. I like the original three, but the
Of
best.
course. I the first one I was like that. That's a great start. I think that's a great way to begin. And then I didn't hate Last Jedi. I know a lot of people hated Last Jedi.
I actually liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought
I
it
liked
was.
it. Yeah.
But then their fan backlash from Last Jedi was so bad that they just completely made the third one like a complete. All right, we're gonna delete. None of that. Don't worry about any of that. We're gonna pander to the fans, really. And I hated the third one.
I feel like they're just very Disney now.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It felt like it was just all right, we're just gonna be fan servicey. Because that's what Disney does. It's fan service.
It would almost be better if it was animated.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I heard a rumor that there's some kind of infighting in Lucasfilm right now, where half of the people are like, look, these three movies are bad, and we gotta get rid of these from the canon, and the other half, like the Kathleen Kennedy half, were like, what? You can't uncanonize, this trilogy or whatever. So whatever they do with that, I don't know. But watching the third movie was so bad, it tainted my view of the whole trilogy as a whole, and I almost have an appreciation for the prequels now, Because the prequels everybody hated for so long, and rightfully so. Attack of the Clones is irredeemable, but
it was just too. It was. They should have waited about another decade before they made it.
honestly, because then the effects wouldn't have been as much as a problem. And then if George Lucas took his time and actually I feel like they took his first draft and yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Have you seen the breakdown of Jar Jar Binks being a Sith Lord?
I was
actually
so
pretty
excited
impressive.
for that. Yeah. In my head, that's what happened. That's my headcanon.
It would be way better.
Oh, I think that was George Lucas's plan until the backlash for Jar Jar was so bad that he had to be like, oh, I can't do that. Okay, my bad.
If he just killed somebody, everybody would like him.
Where
Yeah.
they're excelling at, though, is their series. Screw the movies. The
Mandalorian's great.
The long-running series is even looking at the cartoons, like Clone Wars.
Clone
and
Wars
stuff
is
like that.
fantastic.
It fills in a lot of stuff, and it's way better character development. You're going to find way more interesting storylines than the stuff they cram into a 2-hour movie.
The best thing Disney Plus did was letting Attack of the Clones finish their last season.
Yeah.
And the last season was so good.
Brutal. Great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's
So
thoroughly
good.
good. Thoroughly good.
Check it out.
But yeah.
Oh, we killed it with Star Wars.
We just went to Nerdville.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Whenever that happens, me and my friends, when I was growing up, we always we would have these lively conversations, and then we'd get to a natural lull, and we would always say that whoever caused that lull just 9/11 to the room. I don't know why that was our go-to, but that's what was we did 9/11 the mood,
It's very visual.
Yeah, exactly. We're all having a great time. Oh, look at us, we're two towers, and then and then someone says something, just goes.
It was a good break for a drink anyway.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
got to rejuvenate myself. Is this for me, by the way?
That
It
is
is.
yours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're LeBlue's not paying us yet, but otherwise I'd have it there as a prop. Yeah.
No, I'll save it for the next guy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Can't burn through all of our props.
Once we get to 200 followers, they might pay us.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, YouTube, it's hard to monetize your stuff on YouTube, and I'm in a similar boat because there's two thresholds you have to meet. There's a subscriber threshold and then a watch time
And
threshold.
it's 12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's I think you have to have at least 2,000 subscribers.
4 now.
It's 4 now? Oh, geez.
No. It's 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers, 4,000
hours.
Yes, 4,000 hours. Because I hit the subscriber one, but I haven't hit the watch time one because my videos are all very, very short.
Ours is going to be backwards, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to hit the
watch time first.
And then
actually, we're climbing at about the same rate.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, we're at about 12% on both. So, but it stays pretty
that's the
even.
story of me in bed too. I'm just consistent. Yeah, you got that. I do climax, but it's just not. It's uneventful for.
I'm the opposite. I'm all over the place.
Oh yeah,
unpredictable.
This will either be far too long, or I'll have to go home embarrassed. There's no in between.
So can you block people on Tinder?
Can you block them? I think you can.
I'm just wondering, like, if you fuck up and you just, that was terrible.
Oh no,
I'm sure you can block people on Tinder.
I download Tinder and then get socially anxious and then delete Tinder, and then I have like a cycle where I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, goodbye, and then I delete it, and then I come back in a month with a completely different profile. Hey, me again.
It's me. Do you change your name?
No, I don't change my name. People are like, oh, do you keep coming and go? People will match me again, and they're like, you just keep coming and going, huh? Don't you? You just in and out of this thing.
Oh, you know what? He can actually use my pictures.
Yeah.
He just wear a mask.
Yeah, perfect.
That's it.
But you got to make sure that you got to Photoshop the beard coming out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Because when you wear a mask in public, does your beard poke out?
He took the picture last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's an old pic.
I have a picture that has the mask on, and it says one size fits all, and in my entire. Because my head is twice the size of yours. Like,
I got a little head.
Yeah, I mean, my head's bigger than his, but
He's
still
just a giant person.
Yeah, I'm a big guy, right?
His wrist is bigger than my ankle.
Yeah, the mask that fits you is not gonna fit me, right?
Yeah.
And I got it on, and it covers my nose and the bottom of my lip, right?
Yeah.
And like everything else is sticking out. I think
It's almost like a tiny bikini, the way like side boob comes out, you know?
Yeah,
You got that little...
I'm the Brazilian chick with all of her ass hanging out, basically. That's my face. I got this double chin right here.
People walk past you. Damn.
Yeah, man. I'm at the airport, right? I'm on the plane, and she's like, "You've got to wear your mask the correct way, sir." And I'm like, "What is the correct way?" She's like, "Well, it's got to be fully covering." I'm like,
"Get a bigger mask."
Yeah, I'm like, "Well, the mask doesn't fit, so I've got it." And so I've got a picture. I moved the mask over my eyes. I'm like. I'm like, you want it here? Like it's just like you're literally.
Before my mask came in, I was walking around with my Spider-Man mask on, like the full head, because I have the full. Because me and the Attention Horse comedy group, back in the before time, when you could go to like Comic-Cons and stuff.
Yeah.
We would take the roast of Thanos or like the roast of Batman, and we'd get into costume and we'd do these like nerd roasts or whatever.
Well, you're supposed to do one at our store.
Yeah. Well, when is that?
The Comic Dimension. Well,
it was
in May.
In May, yeah.
So,
it's up my website right now. My website right now has like all my dates from like March to May that I was gonna do, but I haven't changed it. So if you want to see what my plans were, you can check out my website.
That showcase we did at the comic book store was our first one there. It was actually my first stand-up gig.
Really? Wow, because you had a good set, I remember.
It went pretty well,
Yeah, that's awesome. I had no idea that was your first set. That's fantastic.
Yeah, first time. I've only been doing this for like, I'm not sure now because of the quarantine. But
time is relative now. Yeah.
Before quarantine, I'd been doing it for maybe 6 months.
But now it's been 10 years. Yeah. It's been so long.
Yeah, now it's been forever.
Yeah, God, no. It's so funny because like when I'll be working at home, I'll go like stretches where like I have all my groceries. I'm working from home, so I don't have to leave my house for nothing. I'm just then. So I don't know what day it is. I'm just sitting at home with no metric of anything. It honestly, like sometimes it's awesome, because I'm like, I don't gotta, I'm just at home, my work's done, play some video games, but then I'm like cripplingly lonely, and then I'm just sitting at home like, my career is so stagnant because of what's gonna happen next, And I started going to therapy just because of the perfect storm of personal stuff, while at the same time everything outside of personal.
Can't even see your therapist in person though, can you?
No, I can't. I'm Zoom meeting my therapist. It was a perfect storm of like external and internal stuff going horribly.
You're like, I just want to touch somebody.
Yeah. And that's why she was like, why do you always have to, do bits with people? I'm like, because you're the first person I've talked to in a week and a half. All right, let me do some bits real quick.
Yeah.
Let me get these out of here.
These are icebreakers.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and listen. That's what I'm paying you for.
Holding the screen.
You're an audience of one.
Yeah. Did you have have you had some weak moments with your ex and been like, oh, I'm really lonely?
We broke up beforehand, and I don't think it was like a week. It was more like, because I always wanted to have, like when we broke up, I really, really wanted to have some kind of like friendship relationship. You know what I mean? Because she's such a big part of your life after 5 years. You want to maintain something.
Fuck buddy.
Sure. Well, so I remember she would reach out a couple of times to me. She would say like, "Oh, I heard you going to therapy. You know, that's great." Because at that time when we were together, I had like a different perspective, on therapy. Because I thought like, oh, like what is it gonna? Am I gonna get anything out of it? Is it for me? And then things got bad. And I was like, oh, let's give it a try. But then hey, you're proud of you. And then we started getting to a friendly place. We were just talking, and then I remember. It was getting casual and it was getting really friendly, but then I could tell it was like almost getting too personal. It was like, oh, so how's the family been? Blah blah blah. And then it became, I was like, look, are you like? Because I could tell her responses were getting a little shorter and shorter, and I was like, hey, are you getting uncomfortable with this? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna look. And I was like, hey, fine. You feel compelled to reach out.
Yeah. You should have sent her a dick pic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll break the ice.
Yeah, break the ice with it. Pop. There's my balls.
That'll solve the problem.
Pop. There's my balls. That sounds like the worst children's toy. Pop. There's my balls. That's what you get when you're going. Okay, I'm gonna make a children's book about going through puberty, and it's called Pop. There's my balls. And
this is gonna be a good book. Yeah. Wait, but it's for like 13-year-olds, like 11-year-olds.
It goes. And then you wait. That's the second one.
Welcome to manhood. Hold on tight. It's going to be a ride.
I can't wait for my puberty to be done.
Oh,
that's always a bit I like to do when I go on stage. Puberty started when I was 13, and it's been still happening ever since. I can't wait. Can't wait for that to get finished.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm a perpetual man boy. This is me, my facial hair, trying my best. This is the best I can do. I have 5 chest hairs. I've counted them.
I couldn't grow a full beard until it was gray.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's going to be me. But at the same time, the hairline has started receding. I'm like, hey, can this be full before this starts to go? That'd be great. Can I not? It's almost like they're tag teaming at this point.
Oh, yeah.
They're leaving, and then these come in. I'm just mad. I'm sorry I'm so mad at my body. Thanks. But I tried to do a bit a while ago about how I saw this news story about how people apparently kids who ate a bunch of like Kraft macaroni and cheese, with the powder cheese, that had all the chemicals in it. Apparently, people have linked that powder macaroni and cheese to have some kind of chemicals in it that messed up kids' endocrine systems, and it was causing men to have trouble growing facial hair and messing. And I was looking in the mirror and I went, that's what happened. Okay, all right. Now I have some answers because I went hard. I went hard on the Kraft macaroni, and now I look like this little man boy, and that's what happened.
So I read some article about grits.
Oh no!
About something about grits.
Don't ruin me.
And more homosexual men have a higher percentage chance of eating grits. I'm like, this is the dumbest fucking article I've ever read in my life. Because actually, when I think about men eating grits, I think about men.
Yeah.
Eat grits, really masculine.
Well, if you're from
men.
the South.
You're from the South. Everybody eats grits,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is who wrote this fucking article?
Alex Jones is trying to write some kind of
Yeah.
They're putting chemicals in the grits. It's turning the frogs gay.
That's the feeling I got from him. I'm like, what kind of shit is this, man? How did I find this
Corn
article?
equals gay.
You ever be talking to somebody and then out of nowhere they'll drop some Alex Jones bullshit on you and you're like, this was such a great conversation for a minute, and then you ruined it. I thought we were
going to be able to hang out.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'll be talking to somebody and then they'll be like, oh yeah, well then they started putting chemicals in meat. No, everyone's transgender, and I'm like, oh, I can't talk to you. God damn it.
Alex Jones is one of those guys. I've never watched his show.
Yeah.
But I've seen him on Rogan's podcast before.
Yeah.
And he just seems so insane.
Yeah.
You don't give him any credibility.
You think he's doing a bit.
But then he says something and then shows there's some proof to what he's saying.
Well, that's the thing with a lot of conspiracy theories is they'll take a grain of truth and then they'll be like, and then this happened. And it's like, all right, now he's taking creative liberties.
So he makes a good point, and then he's like, and it's got to do with aliens. And you're like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
Just stop where it makes sense.
Let me tell you something about Alex Jones. Okay. I am convinced. I am 100% convinced of this one specific conspiracy theory. Do you guys know the comedian Bill Hicks?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Do you know what I'm barking up right now?
No.
Okay. So I'm convinced that there's this conspiracy theory that Bill Hicks faked his death in 1994 and then became the character Alex Jones. because he's so crazy. He's such a Alex Jones, whether you like him or not, he's a great performer.
Oh yeah, 100%. He does very well.
I watch Alex Jones with the headcanon that he is Bill Hicks, and I laugh my ass off. It's the funniest thing in the world to me. That's funny. There's
he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm sure what he's doing is performative.
Yeah.
It's I want a compilation of Alex Jones screaming at the camera to play right after. He seems like a nice guy. He's like, I will eat you. Gonna have to chop up my neighbors. I'll eat my neighbor.
He's like a nice guy with an anger problem that he can't control.
Yeah. Like he's like Bill Burr, but if Bill Burr was more vocal about his conspiracy theories, because I know Bill Burr's into him. He talks about it.
Oh yeah, I've seen him talk about him too. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like there's a bunch of
there are real conspiracies. It's
of course.
Most of you can't have
this Epstein stuff proved that.
Oh yeah. But it's usually like one person or a small group of people. You can't think like the whole world is in on a conspiracy.
Right.
They can't even get along.
Right.
They can't agree on anything.
Yeah.
They're not going to work together.
It's
on
like
a conspiracy.
4 or 5 powerful people.
Right.
Not like when everyone like anybody,
or it's just simple corruption.
Yeah. Anytime anybody was like, it's this world government and this world government, I'm like, it's like 4 dudes.
No, those world governments would kill each other if they could.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Well, it's like this thing though. If you look, there's corruption in everything, right? Like people inherently. It's like what was that? There's a movie and a saying, and it stuck with me. It's like I trust everyone, just not the devil inside them, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So some version of that, but like, okay, how about the gymnastics doctor that molested 400 girls? How about the Catholic Church and all the priest boys?
The
right?
Catholic
like,
Church is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like
sort of, but it's people. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
They just don't care.
That's true.
I forget who has this bit, but someone has a bit about like how are people? I think the bit's like, how are people still Catholic now? Like they heard about all that, and they're like, you still go to the meetings? You know, you heard about all that?
I've got a pretty good bit about it.
They just built this massive Catholic church near where I live.
Yeah.
And I just so badly, they've got the letterboards at the outside of the road.
Yeah.
I so badly want to go out one night and just change the board to say something like.
Took a lot of little assholes to make this church.
Yeah. Yes. Or something like little boys welcome, free one-on-one.
Oh God.
Therapy. I don't know. Like I just want to do some messages on it, and just mess with it.
Hand grips on the altar.
Like that sounds like some Sacha Baron Cohen stuff where you see how far the other people will take it and let you do whatever. Like if you just like Sacha Baron Cohen would play like the priest character, he'd be like, "Let me bless your boy," like that kind of, and then the parents who were like, "Of course, yes, go ahead and bless the boy."
That's it.
I'm gonna start with how you usually bless the boy.
Isn't there this thing? I swear there's this thing where, I'm a dumbass, so I don't know. But there's this thing where like priests used to do this thing when they would circumcise a kid, that they would like put their mouth on the foreskin.
That's a Jewish thing.
That's a Jewish thing?
Yeah.
That's just, any time where someone comes in and goes, yeah, and then I'll put my mouth on his penis. And it's like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, that's a religious, sure. Yeah.
That's what he's supposed to do.
One guy. One guy did that.
And then someone comes in, all right, I'm the real priest. Who's that guy? Run!
All right, first message.
When little boys go to confession, they actually go in the same booth as the father.
Hey, why does the confession have a little slot right here?
Why is it round?
That's why it's called a glory hole. That's why.
Take my blessing, child.
It's the divine glory hole.
This podcast has not been very marketable. I'll tell you what.
It's a good thing we don't need the money. We give 0 fucks right now. 0 fucks.
I much prefer doing stuff where like the marketability and the profitability has nothing to do with what you're doing. You know what I mean?
This is what's good about society right now, though, is you can get information out there. That's what's gonna fix. That's what's fixing society.
Independent journalists right now are my favorite thing. I can't watch mainstream news.
Yeah, you watch Tim Pool any?
I watch the people I watch mostly. I watch Secular Talk with Kyle Kalinske. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's good.
I like David Pakman, The Humanist Report,
good,
Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore sometimes dips into conspiracy theory a little bit.
He's funny though. Yeah,
he is funny.
Funny.
And sometimes fucks with his conspiracy theories, so it's fun. Who else? Majority Report a little bit.
The Hill's pretty good.
The Hill Rising. Honestly, like that came out of nowhere a year ago. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
So
they're
good. And that one's great because it's got Crystal and Sauger, and they have the different perspectives because Sauger's conservative, Crystal's liberal, and they agree on some stuff, they disagree on some stuff.
I like that. It's good.
Yeah, that's fantastic because mainstream
I like to hear
news.
different perspectives.
Mainstream news is awful. I can't stand it.
Mainstream news is entertainment.
That's all it is. It's
all
like wrestling.
They need to remove the word news.
Yeah,
It's
honestly.
just repetitive shit every 24 hours.
Like Rachel Maddow and Tucker Carlson, they're just
You're
like
right,
the two sides of the same thing, like because Rachel Maddow will do some fear mongering on some like Russia stuff, and then Tucker Carlson will be like the Mexicans are coming, and it's like like they both have a villain, and then they're like, oh, be afraid of your villain, and it's like hey whoa, relax, because all the mainstream news is doing is scaring people. That's all they're doing.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Because I got family on both halves of it. I got conservative family and I got super liberal family, and both of them are going through this like they're so like wound up and anxious because of all the stuff that they're looking on the news. And sure, I am too, but I'm more anxious on my Twitter feed than
I think it's
watching
information
mainstream news.
overload for people, though.
Exactly.
I think that things are really shook up right now, and it has to settle, and then it'll be okay.
Has anybody else noticed, like the grandparents? Sorry, Nanny. But like they're getting in on it.
Yeah.
Like they're on social media, like and they're spreading stuff. So the problem is they don't fully understand social media the way that we understand social media, right? And like I see this post, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing sharing that? And you can't share that. What are you doing? I'm like, but they're getting in on the action, and I don't know that they should be. I think we're gonna have to put some age limits to social media now.
Oh, of course, there should be an age limit and a minimum, a maximum and a minimum.
Yeah, and maybe we need to create like a Facebook for elderly. I don't know what we're gonna call that, but we may need to create
like
that
a Facebook nursing home.
Call it the island.
Yeah, the island. Nursing home app.
We have to market it like
void.
a very specific way. They don't think it's Facebook for old people, but like that's what it is.
No, everything they post just disappears.
It stays up for like 3 days and
it's
then
like
it's gone.
Snapchat. Like as soon as it's viewed, it's gone. It's like, what did I write?
but they can still see it.
Yeah,
No one
it's
else
just for
can
them.
see it. Oh
That's
man,
funny.
there's a bunch of bots that post shit so they can read like they're interacting
No,
with people.
they have bots of their relatives. And
Oh,
they're
there
like,
you go.
love you, grandma. And it's like, what a supportive grandson. Yeah, that's
Your
a bot.
post was so funny.
Yeah.
Instead of mine, I'm like, wow.
I'll tell you what, because of this pandemic though, my grandma my grandma bought me a bunch of clothes or whatever, and I can't wear these clothes, But now that I'm at home, oh fine, I finally have I'll finally wear these, wear these out in my living room, That's all I got to do.
You got stuff like all the teenagers are wearing this.
My grandma is so sweet. This is on my dad's side. My nana, she got me a bunch of clothes that were like, I don't know where she got these, but it's like shirts about stand-up comedy.
Oh.
Like this is my stand-up shirt, or like laugh at me, or like stuff. And I'm not gonna wear that on stage.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. That's too on the nose.
Yeah.
I'm at home. I need something to sleep in.
Yeah.
I'll wear that. That's fine.
You know what I got?
What?
Like, literally like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I get there, I'm helping them, dropping off groceries, da-da-da-da. Oh, I got these things at the yard sale. I'm like, what? Comes out with like 3 different Christmas, what are they called? The socks that you put on the...
Stockings?
Oh, yeah.
Stockings.
Yeah.
3 completely different, used.
Nana, this is July.
Yeah.
Other people's
Yeah.
names on them.
I'm like...
You know a Dave, right?
Yeah, I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you can use these, and the kids would love them. I'm like, what? I'm literally like still like I got home and threw them away, and I felt bad that I threw them away, but I'm like, what the fuck is she thinking getting me these? But that's what I'm dealing with right now. Like she's going crazy too with all this stuff going on, and she's gonna watch this and be like, you're a little shit. I'll be like, that's the first same thing you've said in 3 months.
Accurate.
So I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. When I started doing stand-up, well, I was doing it for a while, and then my grandparents kind of came around to it. There was this push for me to do Christian comedy. They wanted me to do the church circuit.
Oh.
And I was like, Nana.
No, they don't.
Nana. Look, they're not going to want me. That's the thing. They're not.
No.
And that's the thing. Like, I've been asked to do like some kind of like I had a producer come up to me one time. This is for like a TV thing. It didn't pan out, but they wanted me to. They saw my set at one of these comedy festivals, and they were like, "Hey, we like your stuff. You can't do any of that." They literally were like, they told me no sex, no drugs, no religion, no politics, no cursing. I said that's my whole act. That's everything I do. Like is one of, if not all of, those 5 things. Because that's. Don't get me wrong, I love clean comedians. I think the ability to write clean is great, and I think there is a place, like for mainstream TV stuff. You got to do clean. But my favorite stuff, what I like, and don't get me wrong, like I love Jim Gaffigan or whatever, and I love like the old Jerry Seinfeld stuff.
Yeah.
But my favorite stuff growing up, for me, it's like substance is also like really, really important. Like,
like George Carlin.
Yeah, you can have great delivery and you can be, silly and you can like do the topical observational stuff. But like the stuff that I like always had some kind of like I was doing this thing when I was in high school. I had to do a project. And when I was a kid, I always made my projects about stand-up in some way. And so I had to do a research paper on what makes people laugh. And there was like 5 different things that I noticed that I kind of kept coming up, and I kind of made those 5 like okay, these are like the pillars, I guess. My favorite one was the recognition of truth laugh. And that's one of my favorites. That's I didn't think about it that way. That perspective that you didn't, have before. And a lot of observational stuff do that too, but that's also like the Carlin, the Bill Hicks,
It's more my style.
Yeah. And that's my favorite stuff. But that's the kind of stuff you can't do that on TV. Or at least not right now.
Well,
you used to be able to.
Yeah.
But right now they would rather you not alienate your audience. They don't want you to split the room. They don't want you to. But in my opinion, if you're going to do political stuff, I hate when people do political stuff that does split the room. Like, I love doing political stuff, but my political stuff, I try really, really hard to make it approachable from both sides.
Yeah. Trying to make fun of everyone.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You got to, because I got some bits that make fun of the left. I got some bits that make fun of the right.
It's all silly.
Yeah, it's all silly. But at the same time, like, one of my favorite political stuff that I do, I talk about guns, but I make points that the left and the right can both agree on. Because the point I'm making is like, hey, look, have your guns, but just realize you're a dork. You know what I mean? Like, people who are really into your guns, that's fine. You're a dork, though. You're a dork about guns, and that's fine. You're a dork, though. And I make the point, like, you ever watch Star Wars with a bunch of Star Wars fans, and you make the mistake of saying something like, oh, who's that bear guy? Like, okay, listen. And it's the same thing with gun people. Like, all these AR-15s, we got to ban assault rifles. Like, AR-15s are not assault. Okay, listen. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's human behavior.
And I have libertarian friends that like love guns so much, but they'll tell me, I love that joke. And I love the fact that they love that joke.
Yeah. Well, if you're in a comedy club watching comedy, even if you don't agree with the comic, if it's funny, fucking laugh at it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny.
Yes, exactly.
Don't take yourself so seriously. That's the point.
But I also do hate when people do their political stuff, but then it doesn't get a laugh, and they'll assume like,
they blame it on the people.
They blame they're too left or they're too right. They just didn't. Well, the first thing first, make the joke good. Because if the joke is good, you're going to get some laughs. Yeah. Exactly. My least favorite thing is when people will blame the audience. And people on Facebook, I've seen them do this, where they're like, oh, that crowd's just like too sensitive, or they're too conservative or whatever. And I'm like, hey, that joke wasn't good. That wasn't a good joke.
No, when I get up there and I say something and no one responds, I'm like, I understand.
Shit.
I'm trying to figure this out, too.
You're right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I ate a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
I've eaten plenty of those.
I'm gonna have to do a stand-up night, man. Do they have one like for like I've never done it once? I just want to
open mics.
I want to go fucking crash and burn one time, just so I can feel.
I can.
Yeah. I want to feel what you feel. Yeah. I want to be able to sit here and be like, yeah, I fucking ate shit. I want to do it.
And don't get me wrong, bombing is.
There went one of my knives. Did you hear it?
It just fell down.
Yeah, the gun stuck to me. The knife just fell out. Let me see. There it is. We got it. I'll put it over here.
At least it happened here, and not like a random public place with some crazy person picking it up.
Yeah.
I got one. Oh no, this Six Flags is.
How'd you get that knife?
Yeah. But I think people. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't value bombing. I think there's a lot of value in bombing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of people they dread, and I dread bombing.
It should make you not want to do it.
It weeds out the people who shouldn't be in the room.
Yeah.
But B, you can have a couple of good, if you do nothing but crush, you don't learn anything.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
Bombing, you have to.
Yeah, I hate it when I just crush all the time.
Well, okay. Like you can have if you do it for a long time, you can have a bunch of material that works.
Yeah.
And this is foolproof material. Maybe at that point you can maybe blame the crowd sometimes, because if you're like, look, I've done this joke hundreds of times. I know how it works. I know it works. So I could do this joke in a room, and I know it was the crowd's fault on that one, because sometimes you do have a bad crowd. But it's good to do. I got too close to that. It's good to do new material, and it's good to bomb, because then you learn it wasn't the crowd's fault. It was me. I told that too fast. I need to be more concise. Yeah. I need to reframe this and make it more palatable to the audience, especially if you're going to do material that is crazier, more off the walls, or maybe a little more divisive. You gotta. If you're going to do something that's a really sensitive topic, no one's first draft on a rape joke works. You know what I mean? You got, especially if you're going to do that kind of material. I think anything can be joked about if you joke about it right.
I have one that works.
Yeah, I like
I'm
yours.
working on now.
Yeah.
It's a demon rape joke.
Well, I have jokes about sexual assault, but I always make fun of the rapist. You know what I mean? I always I'll like make fun of like a frat dude or whatever. Yeah. I never like blame the the butt of the joke is never the victim in the joke.
Right. Yeah.
But that's still a rape joke. But I've had people.
Mine is, but they're not really getting raped. So.
Yeah.
His is. I like. I'm not going to spoil it, but his is. I like where it's going.
But
it's gonna be good.
First off, I don't know shit about comedy. I'm learning.
Right.
But,
well, you've been doing it for what I hate is when people just get started into it and they're like, I got it, and I'm like, no, I've been doing this for 9 years. I don't got it.
I understand writing because I write a lot, but
and you've been writing for a long time.
Yeah, and I've been writing for 8 years.
Yeah.
Or creative writing, but so that's why I started doing the stand up is to help with my writing, my comedic writing, and I really enjoy it, and now I feel like I have to do it. Like I can't not do it.
Well, it's so good because you can write a joke, and the joke probably has to be funny on paper. Like that's usually a tell is if it's funny on paper. But then you got to go up and figure out how to tell it.
Yeah, and
it's
I feel
different.
like for me, what I've noticed, a lot of it is just how you feel that day. Yeah, like how you perform on stage. Because I'll tell one of my jokes and it'll do great, and then the next week I'll do the same one. And it won't do well. And that is where the crowd comes in. But I feel differently. Like my energy is different. So it's
you can have a bad day, and then because of that bad day, you're just in a shit mood, then you go up and you suck.
Or maybe everyone else is having a bad day that day.
Because the crowd, I do want to say that sometimes.
Right now, we're having bad days every day.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Well, okay. Well, that's interesting because like right now it feels like comedy is so needed. You know, it feels like everyone wants comedy.
Actually, last night the mic was awesome, man.
Everybody because everyone's so deprived. Everyone like wants to get out. They want to like see their stuff or whatever. They want to get their jokes out. I feel like the comics are just like, come on, let me at them. You know, just But there is the instances where you can't blame the crowd. You have to blame yourself. And usually 9 times out of 10, you want to be like, okay, how can I make that better? Because even if it is a shit crowd, you want to be like, okay, how can I turn that shit crowd around?
Well, also like right now we're just in open mics with comics, so other comedians. I don't say I'm an open micer, but there are comedians in the room, and I feel like if I get some giggles or some laughs, that's a win. And I got some, I've gotten some good laughs with some of those.
Because comics are so hard. Comics, they're always in the back of the room with their arms crossed, and they don't. It's almost like they don't want to laugh, or they're surrounded by so much comedy that like you got to be like fucking great for them to chuckle at you.
So it's a good gauge on your material, I think. Yeah, because if you get a giggle or a chuckle out of a comedian, you'll get a pretty good laugh from a crowd.
Oh, especially when it's like 5 or 6 comedians in a room. 5 or 6 comedians in a room telling you that's the toughest crowd you'll ever have ever.
Well, it's not even the right atmosphere for comedy.
Right. It's almost like it's just a workshop. Yes, you have a microphone. You're doing a workshop with and that's what we used to do when no one would show up to mics. And we had a couple of venues in Greenville that we would do open mics at, and one of them was great. It was a small room that would get packed. Then the other one was this shitty, horrible bar, and that one, more often than not, was more of a workshop.
There's one here too, like that.
Yeah,
and that's a good challenge because, or it was before the COVID stuff. But you go in there and do stand up. Most people are there for music. Yeah, or just to have a drink and hang out. So if you can actually get people's attention while you're doing your bit there, then you actually do sets there. They don't have a time limit.
That's another thing. The difference between a crowd that doesn't know who you are, doesn't give a shit about the show, versus a crowd who like came out to see you, who came out to see comedy. Completely different crowds.
It's weird too because I went there one night and did a short set, like a 10-minute set, and did really well. And 2 other seasoned comedians that are really good and really funny bombed. And it was just because the material I had just connected with some of the people in the bar. And, every other time I went there, I bombed. Well, I feel like I was just talking to myself.
That is another thing where it sometimes feel like when, because a comic is they have to figure out what their own voice is. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like they can get so specific, which is good for the creative process because you're figuring out exactly like who you are as a person, who you are as a comic, and how you want to, show yourself to the audience. But at the same time, you can get so specific that now you have the problem where not every crowd is your crowd, because like Anthony Jeselnik, like we'll bring him up again. He bombs sometimes because he has a very specific style, a very specific taste.
Yeah,
he
dark
does
comedy.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. But not everybody does. So
my mom would not like it.
Exactly.
She would like my comedy.
So Anthony Jeselnik will go to shows that he's not like. He'll do like a drop in.
But he's so big. He's got his own. Everybody at that show wants to see him.
Sure. But like, there'll be like a room where he'll like drop in, and there's like Amy Wong's crowd. There's like some. A bunch of different comics crowds are there. Not everyone's there for, Jeselnik. So he'll bomb. And, I think bombing when you're that far into it is more often than not that's not your crowd. Yeah. Or you're working on new material and you haven't figured out exactly just the perfect way to tell that joke.
I think that was it. If there's any advantage of starting comedy late, because I started really late, then it's knowing who you are.
Yeah.
I know the stuff I'm interested in. I know what I want to share with people. I know the things that I think are ridiculous in society that I want to talk about. So it's, for me, like I feel like I know my voice. Like I know what I want to talk about. I just need to learn the craft better.
Yes.
I'm still learning how to tag my jokes properly and just, the light bulb goes off every week, especially watching other comics. I'm like, oh, okay, I see I did that. And then, now, a few guys have come up and started giving me some pointers and some notes, which is awesome. It's just like gold, So it's, but I think that's an advantage because, when you're young, you don't know anything.
Exactly.
You don't know shit. You have no real problems.
And that's why when I was young, all I did was talk about like my family because like the comedians will talk about their family all the time, and it's a very, very personal experience. I didn't start talking about like my opinions until I was like 20. And even then, who gives a shit when you're 20,
right.
Yeah. But
I think you're still way ahead of your age, though.
Well, I just got started really.
You're 23, right?
Yeah, but like in here I'm 95 and right here I'm 48. So I gotta. I'm age-wise very ambiguous. I was buying wine the other day.
You could say you were 28, I believe you.
Exactly. Someone said I was buying wine the other day and they were looking at my ID and they looked up, they looked there, they looked back up at me, they looked down and they were like, what happened? You okay? And I was like, just give me the fucking. I was at Jiffy Lube. I was getting my oil changed.
You're 23 buying wine.
Look.
You're just confusing.
It's not for partying. I have to go to bed and drink something. But I was getting my my oil changed, and I have this van that I bought on purpose. And I bought the guy at Jiffy Lube. He goes, "How old are you?" And I go, 23? And he goes, And I go, why? Why, And he goes, oh, you were driving this van, and I didn't know if you were an old guy that looks really young, and I said, or what?
You should just tell everyone 35.
Yeah, right. And oh, that's fine. Yeah,
they'd be like, okay. Yeah, you look good, man.
I look great for 35. But yeah, no, it's the hairline says 48, but the mustache says 7th grade. So people look at me and they're like, "What's going on? What's going on with you? What happened?"
This guy has no gray hair. He's 35.
Oh, look at you! You're killing it.
I'm 40.
Yeah, but
I'm all gray.
All gray?
Yeah,
I just color it. Yeah.
But I see you talk about your baby belly. I'm like, man, you don't know shit about a baby belly.
Oh, I really don't. No, this is first trimester at best.
I got baby belly and man boobs, bro.
Yeah. Babies in your belly.
I've got babies, man. I got twins over here, man. I'm dropping weight. I used to have triplets, I think.
Well, I gained a lot of weight when my mom went on food stamps, that's why I almost like carry this weight with pride. You know what I mean? Because we grew up really, really poor, and then it was almost like my senior year of high school. That was the year like my dad kind of skedaddled a little bit, and my mom was like, "All right, he never let us, but now we're gonna go on food stamps." And then I was like, "This is how much food is supposed to be in the house? Whoa, look at that full fridge. That's crazy." And then I ate all the food, and then I gained like 30, 40 pounds. I went from like 120 pounds, like 150, 60. I think I'm at like 160 or 70 right now. And then my doctor will be like, "Oh, that's a perfect BMI for you." And I go, "I can assure you, none of it's muscle. I promise you. It's all fat and bones. None of it's muscle. I promise."
I grew up poor too, so I understand. But I mean, we just ate a lot of like Southern foods and a lot of beans and stuff like that. So
we had a lot of the
I was always really lean.
Yeah. Oh, I was
very active.
But that was another thing. When I was a kid, I used to do a bit
calories.
about how I was so skinny Because I was a really fucking tiny kid. I was so skinny that I had abs, which that's like cheating, you know? Because it didn't work. I didn't work for them. You know, they're just...
You had starvation abs.
Yeah.
Hungry abs.
I would say abs on a skinny guy is like an ass on a fat girl. You know, it's just there, and it makes sense structurally speaking.
Yes. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious.
So, I guess we'll wrap this up. How can people get or follow you or...
So my
more about
Instagram is Jake_Weddle. My Twitter is thisisjake21. I'm also on YouTube. You can just look up Jake Weddle. You can see me on the MrBeast YouTube channel. You can see me on the Mr. Bro YouTube channel. That's kind of like one of their side channels. Jimmy gave his he looks younger, but actually his older brother. He gave his brother a YouTube channel, and I've been working with them a little bit. I just filmed some videos with them. Those are going to be out in a couple of weeks. So there's that. I was on another one of their channels called Beast Hacks, but we haven't uploaded in a while, you know, because it's really difficult to, you know, keep everything, you know, the way it was, you know, with the pandemic and all. But just the various different Beast networks, I'm on those.
What's your channel?
Oh, just look up Jake Weddle. My channel name is just my name.
Okay, cool.
So people, what's your channel called? Just Jake Weddle. Just look it up. Yeah, I post a lot of stand-up on that. I post some skits. I tried to venture out and do different stuff. And again, I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube. I'm just kind of throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, right.
So that's where I'm at.
Well, cool, man. Well, it was awesome having you on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
really
you guys
enjoyed
having me. This is fantastic. Your set is great. You guys are fantastic at what you do. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you, man.
It was a blast.
All right, guys, if you like the episode, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye.